about 8:30 p.m., a 3-year-old girl and her family were driving on Commerce Street, which is located here in South Stockton. And as they were driving on the street, they actually ran into gunfire, meaning that there were an exchange of gunfire going on the street. And when the mother looked over to see how her child was doing, she realized that her 3-year-old was struck by a bullet and immediately rushed her to an area hospital, and unfortunately she was pronounced deceased at the scene. Our homicide team came out and started this investigation. They located multiple shell casings on Commerce Street, and what we've learned so far is that this victim's vehicle and the victim's family, they were not the intended target. They just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, driving on Commerce Street. It was a senseless act of violence that was committed by cowards with guns. Anytime you have a tragedy like this, it affects the police department, our investigators who had to go out and investigate, because all of us either have small children or have relatives that have small children, but we got to remember that we still have to be focused to do our jobs. So that's what the main goal of our homicide detectives is. Through this investigation, they're going to be relentless so that we can figure out exactly who did this and hold those people responsible so that we can have justice for the victim's family. We do have a vehicle of interest that our investigators are looking for. It's been described as either a black Monte Carlo with tinted windows or a dark colored or black Chevy Camaro. And we're encouraging people in that neighborhood, if they saw anything or heard anything, they need to contact the police department. But a lot of times with these type of cases, when a uniformed officer or detective's out there in plain view talking to people, people are reluctant to give us information because they're fearful of retaliation for themselves. So that's why we have options for them. They can call Crime Stoppers and report their tips anonymously, or if they like to use social media, they can go to our Facebook page and submit a tip that way, because Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward up to $10,000 for any information that leads to an arrest in this homicide. Anytime there's a loss of life, that is a tragedy. But when it involves a 3-year-old little girl, that really hits home here at the police department and the community as a whole. So we just want people to do the right thing. Could have been anybody driving down that street last night. I mean, there's a lot of people in that neighborhood that go home, they go shopping just right down the street. So this could have happened to anyone, and we want people to know that. We want people to get angry about that because we know people in that neighborhood saw who did this, and we need those people to do the right thing because we don't want them to get hurt themselves or become a victim.